Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Knife Chats with Tobias. What I plan on doing is I'm going to do 10 videos that are each around 10 minutes long, and I'm going to get them all up in 10 days. And if you have a knife channel and would like to share in this open tag, feel free to use the hashtag 10x10 knives in your video title. And with that said, well, hello everybody, Tobias here, and well, it's part 7 of 10x10, 10 knives in 10 days. And today I'm showing you a knife that I just picked up. I was at one of those antique malls, one of those consignment kind of places, looking around, seeing what kind of knives were there. I've been there a couple times. I always manage to pick up some knife there, but often it's like something that Frost made or something, and nothing to write home about. But I pick it up simply because it's like I'm there, I want to find a knife, and so I picked the one that's okay. But this time I think I picked one that's a little bit more than okay, and it's definitely not a Frost knife. It's this one right back here. This is what I would refer to as a pony jack. I believe that's also the way Camillus referred to it as. And it's referred to as a pony jack because of the size. As you can see here, it's just a shy over 3 inches, about 3 1/8 inches long. So if we look here, we can see it compared to a 2 7/8 inch peanut, and it's about a 1/4 inch longer than that 2 7/8 inch peanut. And if we were to look at it next to a mini trapper, the mini trapper being 3 1/2 inches long, this one comes in right at a 1/4 inch shorter. So it's right in that in-between spot at 3 1/8 inches. Now that's a small knife for a lot of people, but for a pocket knife, to me, it isn't that bad. It's a nice size in my opinion. It's a nice pocket dropper. It's going to handle most of your daily chores, but if you got a really big paw, then it's going to be too small for your hand. It's very similar in size to your typical boy's knife, but as you can see, the boy's knife is just not made to the same standard as this knife was made, which is interesting because I'm pretty sure this company did at one time also make boys' knives, and this might have even been the handle that they use, or the frame that they used for their boys' knives. But this is kind of like an upgraded boy's knife. It's the quality is so much better. You can see this one, it's all steel throughout. It's just kind of clipped on in place. You got the single blade going on, which has a good half stop, and you've got the removable bail that can easily fall off. And as you can also tell, this is just a stamped metal handle. This one is a little bit better. Actually, it's a lot better. And where these were a dime knife, this one probably sold for a good $1.25, around the same. If it would have came out about the same time as this, it would have been going for $1.25. But this was probably made in the 60s, and I would say maybe $4 or $5 for that one, and this one would have been $1 then. So this would have been a more expensive version of this knife. And for one thing, it's got 2 layers on there because it's got 2 blades. It also has the nice little bolsters going on, and if you can see here, those are brass liners and a spacer down the middle in this. And you can see there that the let's zoom in a bit. I want you to see this really good. You see that? Look at how gorgeous that is for plastic. These are plastic handles, and they did a really good job with the jigging, or whatever you want to call it. However they made this look like stag. I think they did a great job with it on both sides. And then you notice the cream color, and then you have the brown and the darker brown inside there, giving it a nice rich, almost fluid-like covers. I mean, it's got such a sheen to it. And I love the way they molded this. Notice how the grain of the stag kind of floats around both sides of the shield. It's almost as if the shield was stuck inside the live stag, and then the stag grew around the shield. Obviously, that's not what happened. And the same thing with the pins, but that's one way you can tell that it is man-made. But it's still really gorgeous. And as you can see here, these are not your typical shell handles going on here. This is a plastic that has been attached to the scale underneath, and then the bolsters are there on top of that. And this is a knife made by Colonial, and it's using Colonial's economic way of attaching the covers of a knife onto the frame of a knife. And so it is still snapped on, but it's snapped on in a different way. And by doing so, you'll never see the pivot point inside the bolster, because the bolster top is actually solid. There is a little hole on the back side where the pin of the blades is holding it, where the pin for the pivot on the blades is basically recessed inside the bolsters. And that's why it is nice and tight on both sides. It's really well made. And that was a patented, a patent that I can't think of the way the name is pronounced, but the owners of Colonial, they patented that version of the covers, and it was, I guess, their direct competition to the shell-handled cover patent that was done by Imperial Knife Company. In any case, as you can see here, that blade is nice and tight. It's like this knife was just made, I swear. The quality of the build and just how nice the finish is on there. See, this blade is just stamped USA. Nice little pin blade. And could it be sharpened? Yeah, I think this is the factory edge that is on this knife. I don't think it was ever sharpened by the owner. I don't think it was ever used by the owner. That's from what I'm seeing with it. And here's the other blade. Also, it's got a usable cutting edge, but nothing that I would say screaming sharp or anything. I'm guessing the blade steel is most likely a 420. It might be a 440. This would only be known as a stainless steel, I believe. What you see here, Colonial, Providence, USA. And really just a gorgeous, fabulous little knife. And I paid a grand total of 20 bucks for it. So I was thrilled to end up getting this knife. And while it was made differently than what you see today, the way it was constructed, especially the way the handles were attached and everything, this knife is as rock solid as knives that you're finding coming out of Baron, Son, and Case even today. Now, obviously, the finish is not quite the same because, as you can see here, there's a recess between the center spacer and also the brass liners compared to the raised back springs going on there. So that's one of the signs that it was definitely an economy knife, because the finish is not quite as well as the knives that you were seeing coming out of Camillus and coming from Case and stuff. This is definitely an economy knife, but it was a very strong, well-made economy knife. And this one is in mint condition. You just don't find that these days. But I have seen knives that have been used from that time period that are still holding up quite well. So it was just really a pleasure to finally get one that was in mint condition, and to score it for 20 bucks was just fantastic. I don't think the person realized just what he had. Anyway, stick around. I'll show you some slides, and then we'll move it along to video number 8, part 8 of 10x10. let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with Tobias. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.